Unlocked LTE phones under 200, Vivo 5 from Blue. We look at the powerful dual SIM Vivo 5 from Blue. Welcome everybody, a Spike Studio product review. This time we're going to dig in close and up deep right now with the BLU VIVO 5. We'll come back and we'll talk all about it. An up-close look at the Vivo 5 Blue. This is in the gold model. The specs on this thing are impressive. We'll take a look in just a second. What you should know is what else comes in the box. You're going to get a standard headset. You're going to get your charger cables. You're going to get your plug adapters. You're going to get other sync cables. So that is really cool. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. There it is, gold in all its beauty overall. A couple things on the back we'll talk about in a second. So what you should know is a 5.5-inch display that is on here. It's Gorilla Glass, the Corning, Gorilla Glass 3. It has a 1.3 gigahertz processor, 6.9 millimeter aluminum body on it. It has 4G speeds. Okay, 3 gig of RAM, 32 gig of onboard storage. It's got a 5 megapixel selfie. It's got a 13 megapixel back with the flash. And it's got an octacore 1.3 gigahertz, 64-bit processor. So what do we have on the sides? On the first one, you'll notice we have the thin little tray. So with that, you're going to pop that out, of course, just like any phone nowadays, because in this tray, we're going to boot up while I do it, you actually have SIM card slots ready to go on the side. On the other side, you have rockers and the power button. So with these, you should know that it comes preloaded with Android Lollipop, as it boots up for you as well. Gotta love those features. And then the back has a descriptor of how you actually pop out this little SIM card tray, which is really helpful for those that need to know how to do that part. So let's talk about the apps and everything else after we get it loaded up and booted for the first time. Now, here's the screen I was waiting for to show you before I went any further. Actually, the screen, it's going to tell you, insert your SIM cards. So it's plural. What I love about these phones from Blue is it's dual SIM card technology, which means with the switcher, I can jump between two different networks. I can use one for voice and one for data. I can have two SIMs in there, so when I'm traveling, it allows me to just switch countries easily between the two. It's a great feature and function. One other thing they actually had in the box was just a backing, a clear case. This is really common with them. I found this in the studio, their other phone as well. We're going to walk through the rest of the setup. We'll talk about the switcher and the other pieces once we get going. So I've already gone in, of course, and already set the fact that I've logged into Google. So you know you'll have to do that. You can set a PIN, a mixed password, a pattern, a little bit of everything. We're going to go ahead and just set a PIN so you can see it work, and off we go. Now, friendly reminder about your OS. You can have it display all your notifications, no notifications, whichever you want. We'll just pick one to get going, and we're going to ask a security question for setup, and we'll come back in just a second. So once I went through all the Google setup steps, of course, it's letting you know some things you can do about sliding up to access the control center, as well as the vector vary of the screen so you can open the desktop menu. I really love that they come pretty much a stock Android phone with limited stuff that's on it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and use the phone for a little while to give you our overall impression. We really love these phones. We love the stock Android. It doesn't come with a lot of bloatware. Pretty much comes ready to roll and ready to go once you get started. I love the way that you flip up, camera. I'm not sure what fake call is. We're going to play with that one a little bit as well. We know what the torch is. That's the back light. So a couple things we want to learn about the phone, and we'll give you our overall opinion shortly. So welcome back. What we did is just looked up close at it, walked through the setup to give you an idea. Let's talk about everything else you need to know about this phone. So you saw the dual SIM card slot. It's also one slot is for micro SD, one's for the SIM, or you can do a dual SIM. Take your pick. Either way you want to do it, it's good to go. Now, other mixed results we had after using this for a while. Honestly, the camera's pretty good. Even though it has a big megapixel, it's not perfect. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It's not the best camera we've ever used. Comparison to their previous model that we reviewed, we looked at their Blue Studio here. You can get a good idea for the size. We'll hold them up. Gives you a better idea. A little bit bigger. So overall the Gorilla Glass is fantastic. I really like that's on the front. Someone complained about a speck of dirt below it or something like that, but we never saw that when we looked at the phone at all. Now, one thing that could be mistaken is this phone could be mistaken while you're out in public as a high-end phone. It's unlocked. It works across a few networks. Now, keep in mind the US, even though it's unlocked, it's missing a couple bands. So we did notice a couple spotty areas. We bought a prepaid card. You can buy it on Metro PCS. You can buy an AT&T. You can do a bunch of things with that. But people often thought this was like a gold iPhone or something else. It really has that sleek look and feel. It is a unibody. You're not going to take out the battery or take out anything but those cards. What's cool is they somehow put a 3,000 milliamp battery inside of here. So it lasted pretty much all day, even with heavy usage. Now I hooked it up via Bluetooth to headphones. I hooked it up via Bluetooth to the car. I hooked it up via normal headphone jack. Overall, sound quality, pretty decent. It is 5.9 inches tall, so it is quite tall when you put it in pockets. So keep that in mind as well. There was that cool little thing I talked about when we were looking up close about the fake call. It's just something built in the app that if you click that button really quick, it waits about 15 seconds and then your phone fake rings. So if you need to make that escape, they've got an app built into the phone for that type of purpose. Now, one thing I also did talk about was how I like that BLU doesn't install a ton of bloatware on their OS. Well, I can tell you they had a little bit less on their Studio than they do on this one. There is a little bit more on this phone in terms of bloatware that's there and it's available. The signal I mentioned, missing a couple bands, but it did pretty well in major, urban metropolitan areas. You're going to do really well with the signal itself. So a couple of things as we close this out to keep it relatively short. I really like this phone. I liked the Studio before. I really like this Vivo. I do like the look and feel. I like how sleek it is. I like the dual SIM. The rocker panels are easy to get to on the sides. I like the ability to either have, micro SD for extra storage or use the onboard 32 gig. Just overall, I really like the phone. I think for under $200 and you're looking for someone, sometimes maybe a little bit more depending where you shop, but for someone that's looking for an unlocked phone that can have multiple functionality features, if you travel overseas a lot, I really think this is an answer you need to look into. So we want to say thank you to BLU for sending over the Vivo 5. It's another product review from Spike Studio. And don't forget to subscribe to all our product reviews. And of course, check out all our reviews and the other one we've done on the BLU. Thanks again for watching.